Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn and this is the 2022 year ahead reading for Aquarius, and that will be Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, and Venus. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. So for just a little bit of clarity, I want to say that I'm doing Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus and Mercury. Normally I do Venus and Mars, but for this particular year ahead reading, the card for the year is the Lover's card, and so that's really focusing on like Venus energy, which is something that I do normally, but this year instead of doing Mars, I'm going to be focused on Mercury because the Lover's card is the astrological card for Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, and so there is going to be a lot of information about the way that we communicate, especially the way that we communicate in our close personal and intimate relationships. And so that is going to be a focus of the year. And so I wanted to make sure to include that in the overall reading for your sign. So let's get into this. Okay, so for the overall energy, the cards that came out is the Dryad card, Meditate, Thunderbird Tracks, and Vesica Pisces. And this is from the Sacred Symbols Divination and Meditation deck by Marcella Krall. And so what it looks like is going to be happening for you this year, Aquarius, is there's going to be like a really big explosion when it comes to your intuition, and that is going to come with you basically kind of stepping into a space where you're focused more on your internal. So you're going to be spending a lot of time in nature. You're going to be going for hikes or just trying to be outwards green. Really just meditating on being still and on focus and on peace, and having that those types of energies in your life. I feel like that's really important for you. And as a process of that, kind of getting quiet and getting in tune with nature and with your inner self, you're going to realize that your intuitive faculties are going to kind of become a little bit more sharp, and you're going to see an increase in your ability to communicate with spirit, for you to get downloads and messages, and that's going to be something that you're going to notice throughout the year as you get deeper into like your meditative practices, and you're connecting with nature. For some of you, and this is not a lot of you, the Dryad card is talking about a return to your roots, and so if you have Celtic blood in you, that is kind of influencing your year this year in terms of you getting in tune with nature. You're getting in tune with your old Celtic practices, and kind of bringing that into like your meditative practices and being able to communicate with your ancestral spirits. And so that is something that is showing up here. During that process, you're really going to find that you're going to tap into, like I said, into your intuitive nature, and that's going to kind of come out and manifest itself in your creativity. And so you'll also find that you'll be creating more, you'll be more creative, and that is all a part of the cycle of you, getting in tune, like I said, on all fronts. Using the Oracle deck, the Life Purpose Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, the card that came out for you is creative expression. And so, like I was just saying before with the other cards, you're going to find that you're going to have an increase in your intuition, and that intuition is going to actually lead you into this path of like creative expression, being able to write, to sing, to dance, to paint, and just kind of accessing higher information, and kind of bringing it down into like an earthly plane. So you're really tapping into like your inner magician. I think that is going to be kind of like what you're going to notice as you progress during this year. Using the romance angels, I pulled a card for the overall romantic energy of the year. And the card that came out, it is safe for you to love, which I really think is a beautiful energy. The card is saying for you to open your heart to receive and give the highest energy of all. Like I said, it does seem like there's going to be like an increase in your intuition. And so you're going to be safe to feel like you can express yourself, not just in a creative form, but, like I said, with being able to write and paint and all that, but also expressing yourself to someone that you are interested in. Feeling comfortable enough to verbalize the things that you want and need in relationships, to be open, to be giving and receiving, which again is like the energy of 2022 is the Lover's card. And so that is something that is going to be present for you. You're going to feel like you can step into that space where you're trusting yourself and you're trusting your intuition in the way that you navigate, and being able to tap into the trust that you have for yourself is going to allow you to feel safe to kind of share that as an outward expression or an outward manifestation of that inner work that you're going to be doing. So you're going to be creating. You might be in a space where you find a muse, someone that inspires you to create, someone that you create for, someone that gives you kind of like the passion and the zest to create and to be able to share that with someone, especially if you are shy about sharing your work and showing it to other people. I feel like this inner confidence that you're going to kind of develop this month is going to allow you to kind of step out of your shell a little bit. But it's like a beautiful balance because you're stepping out of your shell, but you're also really focused on your inner self and really kind of like navigating that inner work, which is actually like a very beautiful thing to do. And it kind of like the crash of all of this is really kind of nice energy for 2022, to be real, right? Let's move on to the year ahead spread. So for the 2022 year ahead spread, the overall energy for the year is being represented here by the 9 of Wands. That is some pretty heavy ass energy. So it's like you're coming into 22 feeling a little bit battered, a little bit bruised, looking like or feeling like you've come out of like the fight for your life. And you're kind of in a space where you're looking back at everything that's happened to you and just kind of going over it all in your head. Like it was a rough couple of years for you. And I feel like you're finally in the space that looking at your new beginnings. And that's the overall energy for 2022. Oh, wow, this is kind of crazy. So looking at the overall spread. Okay. So we're definitely coming into January having ended a situation, because again, like in the month of January, we have the 9 of Wands again, which was the card also for the overall energy, and also the King of Cups. And so a lot of you are getting out of a situation with a King of Cups in the reversed individual, which is a person that is like really emotionally manipulative, a little bit mean, just really controlling, just like just a nasty, moody person, right? Like you're coming out of that, coming into 2022 and really coming out of like a tumultuous situation with this King of Cups. And that could be, again, King of Cups could be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer individual. And that could be their, in their chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury. And so you're leaving out of a situation with that person, really feeling, like I said, battered and abused, but moving away from that, right? And leaving that relationship in the past. So you're going to find in the first 2 months of the year, you're in the process of really just kind of looking back over what's been happening the past couple of years and kind of moving away from that in January and in February. And then in March, I think you are you're worried about money. You're worried about some work that you might have done with someone, either in another country or someone that you met online in another country. I don't know what that means, but it's like you're kind of waiting for some finances here. That could be the case. It could be like something about a collaborative type of effort. And so I think that you're kind of like looking forward to that, and there is a little bit of a delay with that, but because this is money that you felt like you worked for, this is money that you feel you kind of you feel like you put in the work and you deserve it. It's something that should belong to you, that should be yours. And so that is something that's happening in March, but then in April you look like you're going to be getting that money, right? Because there's the judgment card, and for some reason I feel like that's like a judgment is coming to you. You could have been involved in some type of court litigation, some type of court case, and so you're waiting for the judgment to come through. You're waiting for that money that you were awarded to be paid to you. So I feel like that happens for you in April. You want to be mindful of, if you are receiving funds, to not just kind of be a little bit, feeling a little thrifty with it, and holding on to the money and not overspending it or spending it in frivolous ways is something that you need to consider. In May, I think there's going to be a little bit of a deception that is kind of revealed to you. And this could be one of two things. It could be a deception about the King of Cups individual that you just recently moved on from. Like, it's like you're finding out more information about them when you're no longer with them, and information is continually coming back to you, right? There's also the idea that you're going to find out about old deceptions that you didn't know about during the time period. And this is particularly related back to your judgment situation. I think you're going to find out information about that was withheld from you, which kind of it's going to hurt your feelings. It's going to hurt your feelings that this person that you find out wasn't upright with you. You cared about them, and so it's kind of like you feel totally betrayed by them. By June, I think you're like looking forward to kind of like moving into new ventures. I think this is the space where you start to feel like you're ready to move forward, and you're ready to kind of like, get back out there on the dating scene. So June, July, and August, you might encounter individuals, situations that look like they are really too good to be true. And anything that is too good to be true, you need to be mindful of that, right? You need to make a decision from a space of your logical mind, kind of evaluating decisions before you make a final decision. Give it time and opportunity to show and reveal its true nature to you. So with the Temperance card here in reverse, this is really about divine timing. I feel like that when you have to come to making a decision about a person or a situation as presented in June and July, that giving it time to allow itself to show itself to you before you make it a final decision is going to be necessary. It is going to be divine timing. The Tower in reverse in September is showing that something that has crumbled, something that has fallen apart is really kind of coming into like the forefront of your mind again. And so there's a little bit of a stagnant energy, which means that there's going to be a little bit of a misstep. You're going to feel like you're not making the correct decisions. You're going to feel like you're not making things or starting things on a ground where there is truth and honesty. So you be mindful of people that are telling you things that like I said, sound too good to be true, because things that are too good to be true, they usually are too good to be true. And so you're gonna come in that space where it's gonna be a little bit rocky for you in August and September, because new relationships that you might have started, or new endeavors that you might have started, don't necessarily play out the way that you want to, and it feels like you keep getting knocked back a little bit more. And not being able to progress in the way that you do. Like, you feel like there's truth being revealed to you. You're not necessarily getting the full information. You're feeling a little bit stagnant, and you're feeling a little bit paused, right? In November, there will be, this could be a person that comes to you in your dreams, or it's a person that is going to cause you a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress because of the words that they're saying to you. Like, their words are going to penetrate you in a way that it's going to like affect your ability to sleep. Like, what they say to you is going to affect you on a cellular level, right? And that person could be a Gemini, a Libra, or another Aquarius. But there's definitely going to be the words that they're saying, the truth that they're speaking, the way that they're saying what they're saying to you, their words might really touch you to the point where you're like really anxious and really overthinking, what's going on in your life. But with a Chariot in December, it looks like you're going to go through a period of up and down, being unsure, being unclear, kind of trying to find your footing after coming out of, like I said, the Nine of Wands as the overall energy, just coming out of like a really screwed up situation and really trying to gain your footing again. So you're going to have a little bit of you're going to have a lot of decisions to make. This year, a lot of things are going to be offered to you. A lot of things are going to be extended to you. And you just want to be mindful about reading all the fine print, because you never know. You need to be mindful of anything that you are going into with full knowledge and full awareness. And I do feel like you're going to come into an instance where you're going to have to figure out how you're going to be able to trust people. And that's going to go back to the cards that came up in the previous spread, with tapping into your intuition and being able to see that, get the information that you need to make the decisions moving forward on an intuitive level. That's something that you're going to have to learn how to do, because people or situations are not going to always be the way that they are being presented to you. And you're going to have to be able to tap into your intuition to know what is right, what is wrong, and what is, too good to be true, and what is just right. But that is something that's going to take time. Like, you're going to be kind of getting the hang of that in August, having a little bit of a misstep in September, but learning and growing from it, and also realizing that someone is not being 100% honest with you. That's going to kind of come out as well. So, but like I said, again, at the end, you're going to be moving forward, with all the information that you have learned over the year. By the end of the year, I feel like you're going to be sharp. You're going to be really kind of tapped into your intuition, and using that to kind of navigate you in the way that you create, and also in the decisions that you make about the people that you allow in your life. And once you are able to do that, then you will be in a space where you feel safe to trust people again, because like in the beginning of the year, you're not really feeling that great about trusting people, and you're going to kind of have instances where you're going to doubt people and are unsure about them. But moving towards the end of the year, with this Cancer card here, the Chariot is the Cancer card. You'll be moving forward with all the information that you've learned. And for some of you, this could be a Cancer individual that you meet, that you will be moving forward with. Not an emotionally manipulative water sign, but someone who is, about home, about family, and wants to move forward with you in that way. Or you can get to the space where you feel like you're at home, and just moving into a new space, altogether, like moving from one home to another home at the end of 2022. That is for some of you. But yeah, you're going to be moving forward and taking the lessons that you've learned in 2022. But 2022 is going to be a time of kind of like balancing yourself out, becoming more in tune, becoming more in touch with your intuition, and using that intuition to guide you. And so it's going to be that type of like school year for you. So that is what it's going to look like for 2022. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you being here. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for post notifications, and I will see you soon, Aquarius. Take care.